Hey YouTube, we're back again with another knowledge adventure. Today's video is going to be about the positive and negative impacts of serving in the military. We're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of it and get to the untold truth of the service. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone that the impact of military service on an individual's life can vary greatly depending on a wide range of factors. This includes their personal experiences, choices, and circumstances. Military service can have both positive and negative effects on individuals, and these effects are not uniform for everyone.
Expansion.
The military provides rigorous training that can instill discipline, responsibility, and a strong work ethic in individuals. Skills learned in the service, such as problem solving and leadership, can be valuable in civilian careers. Many military personnel receive education and job training that can lead to successful careers after their service. They have access to educational benefits like the GI Bill, which can help them pursue higher education or vocational training. Military training often translates directly into qualifications for civilian jobs, particularly in technical fields like aviation, engineering, or healthcare. On top of educational benefits, military service offers a steady income, benefits, and financial stability to individuals and their families. A stable salary, healthcare benefits, and housing allowances can provide financial security for military personnel and their families. Retirement benefits, including pensions and healthcare coverage, are often available to veterans. Brotherhoods are also seen as a plus when joining the military. Individuals can create strong bonds and friendships with fellow service members, providing a sense of belonging and support. This support system can be particularly important during deployments and challenging assignments. Some individuals find a sense of pride and purpose in contributing to national defense. Many individuals join the military because they feel it is their duty, and they find fulfillment in serving their country. Achieving goals and successfully completing missions can lead to a strong sense of pride and accomplishment for an individual serving their country. Now that we've covered the basic positive ideas surrounding the military, let's take a little shot of reality. For every single positive in joining the military, there's probably 2 or more negatives. From impacts on physical and mental health to being separated from your family from a young age, there's a lot of effects that would be considered hush-hush. Let's talk about them. First and foremost, the most obvious negative effect would be the decline of mental and physical health after service. Many service members come home, if they even do, after a deployment and struggle with mental health issues such as sleep disorders or post-traumatic stress disorder. Research has shown that service members that have been deployed have an increased risk for developing PTSD. On top of that, many service members, especially women, face MST, or military sexual trauma. This is any sexual harassment or sexual assault that occurs while you are in the military. MST can happen to anyone and can occur during peacetime, training, or war. PTSD is more common in veterans than it is in civilians, and I think that alone says enough about the things individuals have witnessed or have been part of. More than 200,000 U.S. service members transition out of military service each year. In one study done in 2019, researchers found that veterans' health was among one of the top concerns for civilian transition. The most commonly reported issues were chronic pain, sleep problems, anxiety, and depression. Not only is chronic pain an issue, but many service members that have lost limbs during deployment endure phantom pain, which is a condition where you still feel pain in parts of your body that aren't there. While VA hospitals are meant to help veterans with healthcare after their service, a survey from 2021 indicated that around 35% of veterans felt that healthcare from the VA was generally worse than what regular Americans received. Another negative effect on an individual joining the military would be being separated from their family. Imagine being 18 years old, signing your life away, and saying goodbye to your parents, your siblings, your pets, your friends, and not truly knowing if you'll ever see them again. You say goodbye to your entire life, everything you've ever known, and you're all by yourself. That's it. Nobody to guide you or help you solve any problems along the way. Just you and the grace of whatever higher power you believe in. That's the harsh reality of joining the military. A long-running joke among civilians in the United States is you can fight for our country at 18 but can't buy a pack of cigarettes. And as much as it's a joke, it's the truth. The legal age to purchase tobacco products is 21 years old, while individuals can shoot and kill in a battle across the world at the ripe age of 18. Quite interesting if you think about it. Now, just because an individual joins the military, it does not mean that they will be deployed and on the front lines, defending their country. In many cases, they're 18 years old and living in dirty, questionable housing known as the barracks, and they're pretty much trapped there unless they get married or already are when joining the military. The barracks are basically a dorm, like college, except in many cases, they're infested with cockroaches, rats, and even mold. Regardless of these hazardous living conditions, active duty members are expected to maintain extremely tidy rooms, going so far as a white glove test on a weekly basis to ensure cleanliness. On the flip side, married couples living off base aren't under those same requirements. Just like a college dorm, space is minimal and there are strict guidelines as to what is and is not allowed in the barracks. Unlike college though, you can't switch your roommate, even if an altercation occurs. While in the barracks, individuals are expected to provide all their own basic necessities and are pretty much only provided with a bed, a toilet, and very minimal storage space. If you ask me, it almost sounds like a jail cell. Individuals are not allowed to live outside the military base they're stationed at unless they're married, and the most they'll see or speak to their family in between the time they have for work and training and testing and then some is pretty minimal. There's also a lot of things they will learn in the military that they will not be allowed to speak about, not even to the people closest to them, like family and friends. They're even told that they're not allowed to speak about the way that they're treated in the service. Many veterans complain that active duty members don't have it as rough as they did, so that subject is kind of kept on the low to make it seem as if everything is just fine to the outside world. It's hard enough for fresh service members to be so young and completely on their own. But what about the ones that do have families? Well, the upside is that they do get military housing grants, so they aren't forced to live in the barracks or even on base at all. It's well known among service members how terrible living conditions in the barracks can be, which is why getting married is highly incentivized within the military. Although obtaining housing outside of the barracks is more preferable, it does come with its own downsides. Deployments, frequent relocations, and long training periods can strain relationships with spouses, children, and extended family members, which can often lead to divorce for many military families. According to LendingTree, the divorce rate among military members is almost twice the national average divorce rate. Even the children of military parents may face challenges in adjusting to new schools and environments from constantly moving locations due to their parents' deployment. In summary, service members are often thrown into situations out of their control, which can cause a significant negative impact in their time serving in the military, and also their time out in the civilian world after transitioning out of service. Adjusting from military to civilian life can be challenging, as veterans may struggle to adapt to a different lifestyle and job market. Some veterans struggle to find meaningful employment and may experience financial difficulties during this transition. Like we mentioned with positive effects, many service members feel a great sense of pride in serving their country. When transitioning to civilian life, many jobs do not provide the same values or lessons an individual has learned through their years of service. It's understandable to struggle with finding a good-fitting job when you have intricate qualifications, yet job markets are low for the field you would have the most value in. Many veterans don't want to come out of service and work a regular 9-to-5 desk job, or in retail or fast food restaurants. They understand their value and want a career as they did before. In cases where a service member is dishonorably discharged, they will not have the opportunity to work for the state they reside in, or any government institution at all, ever. Not only that, but they don't have access to many VA health services and can't receive the same benefits as an honorably discharged member. When adjusting to life outside of the military, individuals do not have the same financial stability the military provides, meaning they're on their own all over again, and have to essentially start their life over from scratch, except with a bunch of health and family issues to take care of in between, and sometimes without any help. Due to this and other factors, many veterans can face homelessness. Thankfully, the homelessness rates in veterans has been declining since 2010, but it should be noted that this is a very real, very devastating thing that some veterans face when transitioning back to civilian life. Some individuals may experience moral or ethical conflicts due to orders or actions required in the military. Like I mentioned previously, there's a lot of things an individual will learn during their time in the service, and many times they will not be allowed to speak about it. Almost like signing an NDA, when you join the military, you agree to keep all the top secret information. Well, top secret. Service members may face moral and ethical dilemmas when asked to carry out orders that conflict with their personal values or beliefs, like if engaging in contact with the enemy may require engaging with civilians as well. That may heavily conflict a military member's morals, yet it must be done regardless. They have to live with that for the rest of their lives. They may see heinous acts occur and not be able to say a word against it, which I can only imagine what that can do to an individual's mental health. Studies show that it can lead to an increase in feelings of guilt, shame, and a sense of moral displacement. It kind of explains why negative mental health rates are so high among veterans. Witnessing and making decisions that directly conflict your beliefs as a person can have long-lasting mental effects such as anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, and PTSD. In some cases, veterans may feel isolated from civilian society, leading to a sense of disconnection and difficulty reintegrating. They may not feel that civilians understand their experience and will self-isolate in order to protect themselves from the civilian world. This sense of isolation can lead to difficulties in building social connections and seeking support for physical or mental health issues. Due to this, many veterans will turn to negative alternative options such as drugs or alcohol to self-soothe. According to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Association, 12% of veterans have a substance use disorder, which includes alcohol abuse. It doesn't help that heavy drinking is a common issue among military members, who may drink during their service to deal with issues they cannot speak about. Exposure to traumatic events, including combat and death, may contribute to the high rates of alcohol misuse among members of the military. Research indicates that more than 1 in 3 active duty service members are binge drinkers, which is pretty high if you ask me. Veterans are more likely than non-veterans to drink heavily, which would explain the high rates of substance abuse. Basically, you see a lot of shit, and it can leave long-lasting effects on you for the rest of your life. It's essential to recognize that the experiences of military personnel are highly individualized, and the impact of military service can vary significantly from person to person. Many veterans have successful and fulfilling lives after their service, while others may require support to address challenges they face. Programs and organizations exist to provide assistance and resources to veterans, aiming to help them navigate the unique challenges associated with military service and its aftermath. The effects of military service on an individual's life are complex and multifaceted, and it's essential to recognize that not all experiences are negative. Some individuals find military service to be a positive and transformative experience, while others may face significant challenges. Support and understanding are crucial for veterans as they navigate the transition back to civilian life. I hope you learned something today as you watch this video, and remember to question all the great outlined benefits in any career choice of yours. You only have one life to live, so you should make it count, right? Whether or not joining the military is part of your dream, everyone deserves to know the truth of the situation before getting themselves involved in something that may not benefit them the way that it's described. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and share this video with everyone you know, and tap that bell to be notified when another video drops. Thanks!
Taxpansion.